Welcome to Kitchen for Mai Farai. Kenapa lupa Mai Farai? Lepas lu bisa nak belajar kubika. Kita ulangnya dedu sema jumlaku. Lemon betul.
Welcome to Kitchen for Mai Farai. Today is Friday. Somewhere it's Friday. It's Friday. Nas kubika shepherd's pie. Today we're making shepherd's pie. Andy Brown in the background. If I could dance, Good style. Okay, so this is what we have today. Shepherd's pie. I think shepherd's pie is a British dish. I'm not sure. Or United Kingdom, the whole of United Kingdom, including Ireland. I think this was their food in the old days. I am guessing it was for poor people because you just have vegetables, leftovers, whatever you have. But today I'm going to use ground beef. I'm going to use some carrots, onions. I have peas. They're still in the freezer, but I will use them later on. And then our potatoes. Okay. So that's what we need. And then we will need spices. I'm going to use black pepper. I'm going to use 1 cube of Maggi. Oyster sauce. Always oyster sauce. Oh, and garlic. How could I forget garlic? We're going to use garlic. So, welcome once again to Mai Farai. Today I'm not having wine, but today I'm having Yukon Jack. A Yukon Jack, I think it's this is what it looks like for those who like to go buying good stuff. Yukon Jack. It's a liqueur. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Yukon Jack, that's what we're having. Cheers. So shepherd's pie. Okay, let's get cooking. Kwa Mai Farai, Andy Brown in the background. Welcome to Kitchen Kwa Mai Farai. Welcome. Nasi Friday. Today's Friday. I think it's Friday. I'm not sure. Could be Friday, I don't know. So today we're making shepherd's pie. With our shepherd's pie, we're going to use ground beef. It's not extra lean because we need the fat from the ground beef, so it's just lean. Okay, we're gonna need onions, carrots. We're gonna need our oyster sauce, piri piri from the South African store here in Langley. Black pepper, and one. Are we gonna use one here? We're gonna use 1 sash of this beef. It's like beef sauce. I don't know, beef stock. Anywho, and the main other part will be the potatoes. So this dish, you cook it 2 parts. First, you're gonna do the ground beef with the sauce and all, and then you boil your potatoes, make them into mashed potatoes, and then that's how it rolls. And welcome, Mai Farai. Mai Farai today is drinking some bourbon. Yeah, cheers. Bourbon. Okay, let's get cracking. First, I'm gonna fry the ground beef. I'm not going to use any oil. I'm not going to add any oil to my pot. I've got the pot on the stove right now and it's heating. So I'm going to get all the fat, all the oils from the beef itself. You don't want too much oil. Okay. Yeah, let's get cracking. Shepherd's pie. Oh, when I say shepherd, it reminds me of my uncle. I had this wonderful uncle. Oh, he was amazing. Unfortunately, he passed away years ago. He passed away young, but he was one of the best uncles in the world. Oh my goodness, I remember I was 20, I was in college, and he came to visit me. My college was in another province in Zimbabwe, but he came to visit me. And I remember this vividly. I was up the stairs of this dance hall. I was up the stairs and he was way down, and he saw me and I saw him, and I was just gonna elegantly walk down the stairs to greet him, but he just opened his arms wide. And I just remember running to him and he picked me up. 20-year-old. But back then I was skinnier, so don't worry. He didn't have to fall down. But it was just the love that he had. He saw me, this 20-year-old, picked me up in front of other students, and he just picked me up and we hugged. I miss him so dearly. So Uncle Shepi, wherever you are, we haven't forgotten about you. We will never forget about you. Samarutawana binga guru tichengete kwa muri ikoko muchiramba meitotitarisawo tikuro vana venyu vari kukura, ana Peter vari kukura. Aiwa tikwazisire ana mbuya Janet, ana sekuru Mary, wese nana tete K. Okay, so that was my Uncle Sherpard. I miss him. I love him. Okay, let's get cooking. Shepi, if you were here, I think you would have loved this. Anska, alright. Atinde rembe jelune. Mai Farai varucha kucha. Okay, so we got our ground beef going. And then I'm adding some onions. You gotta add onions. I like onions. Those of you who've been following me, I love garlic. I love onions. I love wine. And I love goodies. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Got our onions. Looking good. Oh, and about the potatoes, this is how I do my potatoes. Whenever I'm making mashed potatoes, first I boil my water. I add a little bit of salt to the water. I boil my water and then I add the potatoes. Once they're boiling for like 3-4 minutes, I then turn the stove off and just let them cook just like that. And they usually come out good. But for now, let's continue with this. Mai Farai. Shepherd's pie, when you're making the ground beef and all, for those of you who've made beef stew, it's exactly the same way. Make this the way you make your beef stew. All the spices that you use for your beef stew, whatever you use for your beef stew, that is exactly what you're going to do with your ground beef. So that's what I'm doing. But I always do a little bit of my own thing, my own Mai Farai thing, my own Jana thing. And this comes. So our onions, we gotta let them brown a little bit, just a little bit more. I don't want them too soggy because when I'm eating my shepherd's pie, I like a little bit of the crunchiness from the onion. I just can't. Okay, and garlic. I love garlic. So today I'm going to be using like 4 cloves of garlic. I may use more because I just love garlic. I have high blood pressure. I have suffered from high blood pressure since I was, I don't know. It's a black thing. Black people, we're prone to high blood pressure and other things. So apparently garlic helps to reduce high blood pressure. So that's why I like it. Plus it tastes good. So garlic all stuff. Everything with garlic. I do not have my garlic press. It broke, so that's why I use this. I grate them, but it works. I get the same results. Okay. The garlic. My chicken, sorry. Mai Farai. Paro para javo. Bachi para. Anzi. Kune rumwe rumboro wakaimbwa nemwana wa Safiria mazikatsire, the late Safiria Mkadota. His son's name is Elijah, if I'm not mistaken. He said in the 80s or 90s, he did a song called Sisi Rachel, I think. Sisi Rachel tinovimba nemi, tinotemba nemi pakubika makaoma. Vane maguru, zvese nematumbu, mangwana mabonzo, kana nefishi. So that's what I am. Though I'm not Sisi Rachel, I am Mudiwa Jeneti. Ndiwe hereo, gani daro. Kuvira musiwo wakandimikira. Kana nanasi ndichiri pano. Oh dear. Oh herendi. Mudiwa Janet. That was Joan Shubadura Mudiwa Janet. Anywho, we got our garlic, onions going. That's when we Worcestershire sauce. A little bit of it. Carrots. Pepper, black pepper. Oops. I love pepper. I'll just put a little bit of it. And our oxtail, I think they call it. It add rich flavor to your soups, gravies, stews, and casseroles. So that's what we're doing. All right, we want to add flavor. You know what I love about the most thing that I love about cooking? Instead of baking, is with cooking you can do whatever you want. You can be creative. You can add things. You can make your own recipe. With baking, everything has to be precise. If they say 100 grams of salt, oh no, they never say 100 grams of salt, but they could say 100 grams of sugar, a quarter teaspoon of yeast. You gotta do it that way, or else your product is not gonna come out good. But with cooking, ingori zvamada zvedu tiri pano paZBC Radio 2. You know what? I always wanted to be a DJ. Well, in Zimbabwe, of course, I probably would have been working on the radio too. By Radio 2. Chirongwa cha tete Mai Farai. Aiwa. Mai Farai kuchirongwa chavo pano paZBC Radio 2 PO Box 9048 Mbare Harare. Muchikurukura zvenyu natete kana tapedza chirongwa kunouyo ambuya mulambo handitsika goodbye tarararara. She was afraid to come out of the closet. Do rumbo rwambuya mulambo. Ndakambowina a prize kwambuya mulambo. Ndakawina a record. When I was in grade 2, I won't tell you the year, because if I tell you the year, then you will know how old I am. I never reveal my age. I heard somebody telling me that black don't crack, but it melts. I think I would rather crack than melt. Yeah, so yeah, I had a beautiful childhood. As Michael Jackson would say, have you seen my childhood? If I had a voice, okay. Chili, piri piri chili. I just found out that the word piri piri is Swahili. Or is it Swahili? Or yeah, I think it's Swahili, or it's from Swaziland, and they call it pele pele, but its origins is from Mozambique, and I'm guessing the people from Mozambique got it from the Portuguese, because if I'm not mistaken, Mozambique was colonized by the Portuguese. So the Portuguese brought their spices. Now we're using the spices. Zimbabwe was colonized by the British people. We got no spices. They didn't bring any spices. So that's why if you go to Zimbabwe, like usually the food is just bland. Tomatoes, onions, and you got it. That's it. Okay, so we fry. So we did that. Oh, I'm gonna add a little bit of paprika. Gives it color and a little bit of smokiness to it. With paprika, you can always be generous with it. Turn the heat down. Wow. And now we've got green peas. I love peas. So I'm not going to put my fingers or hands in there because I'm going to use the extra leftover. Put them in a salad. Ooh la la. Ooh la 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 la. Now let's try. Make sure our flavors. Salt. We're missing salt. I love salt. The salt. Where are you? Just a little bit. I feel like something is missing in here. It's kind of sweet, and I don't want it to be sweet. So what should I add to this? Maybe I'm gonna use some curry powder if I have curry. Okay. I got this from IGA. I think it's called Fresh Market now. Okay, we got the potatoes going. And I think we'll give them a few minutes. Let's see. Yep, maybe 5 more minutes. So, what to do? I have Japreza. Japreza is playing while we're cooking. Potato is rolling, and I thought, okay, have you ever seen Mai Farai dancing? But I like the song. Anzwa wanda kauramba na Anzigo is DJ. Zviri kunzigo na Japreza. Zviri kunziwa wa. Isati rambe wakwa. Haina ndigone utambe. Traditional dancing, Zimbabwe. I'm not a good dancer. But wawa atiureke. Magumo. Manje ina ndituke vanhu kana ndichibika handituke vanhu ndinobika ndichimwa hangu ndichifara takamirira kuti chikafu chedu chibve choibva zvedu kwaMai Farai. Oh, guess what? On Saturday I went to this Zimbabwean African function thing, and I saw a fan. Somebody was like, "Oh, I know you from your videos." Okay, to that lady who was so excited to see me, hi. I forgot to ask your name, but if you're listening or if you're watching, just type in your name so next time I can give you a shout out, okay? But don't drink and drive. Okay, there we are. We got the shepherd's pie ready. I hope it's good. Bon appetit.
Sisi makachena, Tandiro Vesandehana. Oh, am I not so handsome? Sisi makachena, Tandiro Vesandehana. Oh,